global socio-economic change. The economic growth since the late 20th century has helped many countries lift average incomes and millions out of poverty. However, several millions still live in extremely difficult conditions. There are significant challenges in different regions of the continent. Several Asian countries and nations grapple with bad governance, weak economy, fragile security, and deteriorating environment as they try to sustain their growth momentum. Against this background, Central Asia and the Caucasus hold a critical position in the continent. These regions have the potential, on the other side, for emerging wealth and prosperity if the ongoing conflicts, challenges, and handicaps can be coped with. With this understanding in mind, an academic approach is seen essential in defining, exploring the dynamics, and assessing the future of Central Asia and the Caucasus. For this reason, the title of this Congress is determined as twofold. On the one side, challenges, and the other side, prospects of the region. Thus, the goal of Congress is to discuss, analyze, and assess the present and future areas of concern and windows of opportunity for the people. As response to our call for paper for this Congress, we received tens of well-prepared abstract proposals from academics worldwide. All of them were reviewed by referees, revised and improved by authors when deemed necessary. An abstract book is prepared and published on time also. In this regard, I thank all panelists, authors, referees, organizing and scientific committee members, Istanbul Area University management for their close cooperation, constructive approach, and valuable support given to us. I believe this Congress will be a benchmark with valuable contribution to the academic literature, as well as policy makers, decision makers in all areas of occupation in various countries. Now, I would like to invite Istanbul Area University Rector, Professor Dr. Ercan Geges, to officially open this Congress. My dear Rector, Professor Dr. Ercan Geges, the floor is yours. Please.
Thank you very much, Oktay Hocam. Dear colleagues and our guests joining us online from around the world, I'm very pleased to be here today for the opening of this International Congress on Changing Geopolitics of Central Asia and the Caucasus, Challenges and Prospects. As Istanbul Area University, after the Congress held in May 2022, titled International Congress Future Dynamics in Asia, this is our second Congress on Asia and Caucasus. Under the conditions of current globalization trend, regional cooperation is gaining more importance than ever. In this context, Central Asia and the Caucasus have great importance, not only on a regional basis, but also on a global scale. Central Asia and the Caucasus possess a particular value for Turkey as well because of their proximity, dynamism, and geopolitical importance. There is no doubt that this importance is going to gradually increase. Resolving the ongoing conflicts in the region is vital both for ensuring stability in the region and for adding to the prosperity of the resident people. Contrary to the multicultural structure of the region, commonalities prevail in the social and economic environment are more than enough to resolve ongoing disputes and hardships. A scholarly approach to shaping the future of the region is vitally important at this point. Therefore, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the participants, putting the problems on the table with the aim of searching for solutions and providing assessments on tackling potential risks and threats is a scholarly capability which hardly a few other actors could manage. I would like to express my thanks to the Arel Usam International Strategic Research Center, organizer of the Congress. My special thanks goes to Oktay Bingöl, director of Arel Usam. Arel Usam has conducted national, international, and interdisciplinary studies on social sciences with the participation of our esteemed academicians and our dear students since 2015. Also, it is serving society with national and international social responsibility projects. Thus, Arelusam is an important pillar of the scientific vision of our university, owing to its academic publications, congress, and cultural activities. The Congress will last for 2 days, successive 6 sessions, with an enlarged security approach, which includes sessions such as evolving strategic landscape, regional security challenges, cooperation, prospects for regional cooperations, respectively. During the Congress, 40 valuable papers are going to be presented. Scholars from 12 countries, such as Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, China, Croatia, Hungary, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Poland, Turkey, and Uzbekistan, enrich the value of the activity. Finally, I reiterate my belief that Congress will contribute to the developments in Central Asia and Caucasus region. And I would like to thank all the participants, our keynote speakers once again. I forward my deepest regards and welcome you all. Thank you very much.
My dear director, thank you very much for your participation and for this valuable speech. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Associate Professor Dr. Ali Bilgin Varlık, who is the executive chairperson of this Congress. His dedication and hard work have created this Congress. He will manage the remaining part of this opening session and moderate the first session of the Congress. Professor Varlık, the floor is yours, please.
Good morning. I'm Ali Bilgin Varlık. I'm the co-chair. Dear esteemed guests, I would like to express my deepest respect and warm welcome to you all. We are honored with your attendance. Before starting, I would like to thank the chair, Professor Oktay Bingöl, because of his good words. Now we will proceed with the keynote speech. Our distinguished speaker, who possessed high values and expertise in one personality, is Dr. Mirwais Balkhi from Afghanistan. Let me read his CV, his short CV. Dr. Mirwais Balkhi is a visiting fellow at Wilson Center, DC. His research focus are regional studies, Middle Eastern studies, foreign policy, nation-state building, international theory, and international security. He is also a faculty member of Georgetown University, Qatar. Dr. Mirwais Balkhi joined the Ministry of Education of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan in 2018 as the Minister of Education. He holds PhD in the International Relations with specialization in West Asian Studies from Jawaharlal Nehru University, India. He has published numerous academic articles both in English and Persian, including the books Saudi Arabia's Foreign Policy Towards Afghanistan, 1991-2014, Balkis of India, and a critique on Afghanistan's regional integration. Dr. Balkhi has also edited the book Afghanistan After 2014. Dr. Balkhi has also worked as the Deputy Ambassador of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan in New Delhi, and previously as the head of the Africa and Middle East Desk in the Center of Strategic Studies, CSS, and as the chief editor of CSS Quarterly Journal of Strategic Studies at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Prior to joining to CSS, Dr. Balki was a lecturer at the Law and Political Science faculty at American University of Afghanistan and several other private universities. Dr. Mais Balki, we are honored with your presence in this Congress. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Varlik. Very good morning to all of you from here, Washington, D.C., which we are yet away from daybreak, and it's 3 a.m. here. So I was eagerly waiting for this International Congress to share my ideas and also learn from distinguished guests from the region, Central Asia and Caucasus. At the outset, let me thank you for inviting me here to share my thoughts with the scholars. Indeed, it has been a great pleasure because I have seen many great scholars from the region, especially from the countries that we are covering as the larger region of the Central Asia and Caucasus. As the title is selected, it talks about changing the geopolitics of Central Asia and Caucasus, which is, I think, a very important and crucial topic nowadays when we are talking about especially the regional politics of different regions in across the world and the importance and significance of Central Asia, especially as a connecting region in the global politics and global environment. But let me begin with an unfortunate statement that the larger region of Central Asia and Caucasus is experiencing a conventional geopolitical challenge unlike many other regions. I believe that there is a geopolitical determinism in Central Asia which has not been changed since the emergence of the Central Asian and Caucasus units as a nation state in the 90s. So I believe these unfortunate statements can outline the current geopolitical situation in Central Asia in total, and also the prospects that we have in the near future and the longer future. I see the geopolitics of the region from a dominant approach, which is security. To my view, security approaches primarily and continuously overtaking economic and political development and other approaches that we have for the development of a region or for analyzing a region as an important or as an analytical unit that we have. Because what I believe that the region since the Soviet disintegration and the emergence of the Central Asian Caucasus as a complex of different independent units is untouched and undiscovered. When I say untouched and undiscovered, it means that we have different parameters from Central Asian Caucasus, which is unknown to the outside world. There are different issues, different concepts, different facts, even from our region, that when we talk and when we discuss outside the Central Asia and Caucasus, even some of the experts and scholars, they are somehow unknown to these facts and these concepts and these issues. I can give you a very clear example of the Taliban. For example, I do not see even a single definition, concrete definition of the Taliban, for example, not only by the global community, but also by the members of the Central Asian and Caucasus region. So like that, many other complicated and complex issues that we have from this region has created this ambiguity and unknown situation that we can understand, or we can get this conclusion that that the Central Asian and Caucasus region is in total undiscovered region. Therefore, from one side, the power politics of the big powers and the regional hegemons, on the other side, the demands and expectations are all about defining the issues within the Central Asian sphere. It is because of that kind of determinism that I was talking in the beginning, because when you talk about the politics, the geopolitics of the Central Asian Caucasus, you have again a land locked region, a region which is surrounded by major powers, a region which is surrounded by different hegemonic countries who are all looking for kind of expansion of the sphere of influence within the Central Asia and Caucasus at the one hand, and on the other, then there is always expectations and also demands from the peoples within the Central Asia and Caucasus region for the development, for the changes, for bringing transformation for their lives within the societies. Although I believe that the nature of the totalitarian regimes, in most of these Central Asian Caucasus regimes, do not give this space, an opportunity for the people to get out of the situation and go for a transformation of political environment. But at the same time, the demands that we can see through social media or close contacts with many people and scholars from the region, it shows that these expectations are the realities which has not been stopped or changed since the beginning. So that is why I believe that when we talk about Central Asia's geopolitical changes, we have to say that this change has been there, but not in linear in the linear situation, which means that the change is not linear, but it is a circular change. The geopolitical situation of, or the condition of the Central Asia and the Caucasus is in a circular changes that we have always the repetition of the same geopolitical issues within the Central Asia and Caucasus, or in the larger region when you are talking about the neighboring countries or the neighboring geographies that we have. So that is why when you have these determinism based on the landlockedness and based on the neighboring with major powers and based on the energy and the dispersing of the nations across the region, then there would be one understanding significantly that the countries inside the Central Asia and Caucasus have always tried to tackle the challenges and the issues individually based on that security challenges, which is the dominant or the primary concerns of the states within the Central Asian Caucasus. Because in many other regions comparing to Central Asian Caucasus, we can see certain platforms, certain associations or organizations that the states came together and they try to discuss over a shared destiny to solve the regional problems or to solve certain bilateral issues within the region. But in Central Asia, we do not see that development. When we see at the regional platforms, still the countries are bound with the individual issues. Still the countries are thinking about how to tackle the geocultural vulnerabilities of extremism, for example, how to tackle the border issues, how to tackle the minority issues, which is one of the top foreign policy agenda you can see when you see in the foreign policy of each individual countries in the region. So that is why you do not see a joint effort or a cooperative effort to tackle any of these issues or any of these problems that we are experiencing in the region. We can see easily again that, for example, when there was a republic collapse in Afghanistan and the emergence of Taliban again in Kabul, you could see different individual statement, positive or negative, from members of these larger region. But as a joint statement, it was hardly listening from, or we could hardly hearing from the region. And that is why the countries of the region, they were individually, or they are individually trying to contact with the Taliban and solve the issues of their own concerns with the countries or with Afghanistan. Or, for example, when you could see the conflicts between Azerbaijan and Armenia in Nagorno-Karabakh, again, you would see different conflicted statements individually about the cracks or the essence of the issue, which did not come as a joint effort or as a joint statement, so that the countries, they can take it as a regional issues and concern, and they come together and think about it, or, for example, they can address certain such issues as a common destiny or as a common destination. That is why the security-oriented approach is the primary driver or the primary factor for defining all sorts of geopolitical issues of the Central Asia and the Caucasus region. So when we talk about the future prospect, when we talk about the near or the longer future of how or what way will the Central Asia and Caucasus geopolitically will go on, at least for me, what I have in my mind, what I have observed from Central Asia and Caucasus, I believe that the near future also will be a transformation of the issues from security to security-oriented issues again. And that would not be, again, non-conventional, because in other parts of the world, when we see the issues, for example, environment, for example, political, for example, cultural, even the geo-history of the region, they have transformed to a non-conventional stage of dealing with the issues of the region and try to understand or try to study certain new angles of the issues on the region. But in our region, in Central Asia and Caucasus, still the conventional threats, the conventional geopolitical issues remain and has not been changed. So that is why I believe that when we study Central Asia and Caucasus geopolitically, geostrategically, geoculturally, geohistorically, I don't think the scholars of Central Asia, the experts on Central Asia and Caucasus, they need much attention to see the new angles of the changing situation in this region, rather than they can still focus on certain elements or units of analysis to anticipate the ongoing situations, whether between two states or among the states, and at the same time the relations, the complex relation of the region with the outsider countries or big powers. So that is why the new dynamism, the new situation which are occurring around the Central Asian Caucasus, does or do affect the geopolitics of Central Asia and Caucasus, but it again do not affect in a way so that we have to be very much complicated with ourselves. And again, we have to think that, okay, if there are certain situations going on around the Central Asian Caucasus, how we have to deal with it. So if you see the water issue between Afghanistan and for example, Iran, Afghanistan, the Taliban, or if you see the earthquake in Turkey, if you see the Nagorno-Karabakh issue, if you see certain border issues, water issues among individual states within this region, again, you could, if you go to the literature, for example, during 90s, if you go to the literature during 2000, if you go to the literature on different areas or different periods of time, you could see that still that the literature are relevant to the issues, to design the modality for solution, or to anticipate the ongoing situations, and even to see how the issues or how the incidents are going on in the future. So that is why I would say that if you go to the mother cause of all these geopolitical issues, if you focus on the security, and if you see the survival issues of the individual states, and if you see the phobias that you can see within these states, then easily you can anticipate that, yes, if you sort out the security issues of the region, whether it is energy security, whether it is identity security, whether it is cyber security, whether it is any kind of or any type of security, I believe that we have came out of one major issue of the Central Asian Caucasus. Then we can step up onto the next issues, or maybe the issues which talks about the development, the overall development of Central Asia through a new transformation or new phase of transformation into this region. So in conclusion, I would say that the dominant factor of Central Asian issue can be, or I'm sorry, the dominant or the major factor of Central Asian and Caucasus geopolitical change would be a circular change from security-oriented issues again to the security-oriented issue. And I believe that around the security-oriented issues, we can understand, study, and see, or even anticipate what are the prospects, what are the challenges, and what are the opportunities in the Central Asian Caucasus, to discuss the issues and to present the solution so that we can at least tackle the challenges and the issues for a better Central Asian Caucasus region. Thank you very much.
Dr. Mirwais Balke, thank you very much indeed for your very productive and fruitful speech, which broadens our view. As all the items that you have pointed out are very well noted by us, and it will also enlighten this Congress discussions. As you have noted, one point, if I may put forward, as you have noted, securitization may be a starting point, but cannot be the end to tackle all the issues. So an approach of desecuritization, which will enlarge rather than narrowing our focus, would be the only way to solve the ongoing problems. And if the problems are going to be solved, these are going to be solved by the regional initiatives rather than the external ones. So we need to construct our future as the other part of the world which are enjoying the prosperity conditions. So this seems the only way for all the regional partners to build up the future. At this point, the scholarly approach is vital, I believe. That's the reason why we conduct this Congress. Once again, I would like to forward my special thanks to you, since you have accepted to be the keynote speaker. Right now, we are going to take a 10-minute break. My clock says 10:35. 10:45, we will meet again with the first session. Thank you very much once again.